China has ramped up its use of secret detention without trial, creating one of the most far-ranging systems of forced disappearance in the world, human rights activists warn in a report.
Here's a summary of the article.
China has ramped up its use of secret detention without trial, creating one of the most far-ranging systems of forced disappearance in the world, human rights activists warn in a report. The RSDL system allows security forces to hold people for months without charges or trial, which Safeguard Defenders described as state-sanctioned kidnappings. Safeguard Defenders, a campaigning NGO focused on human rights in Asia, warned the UN that China could undermine human rights standards globally if the international community does not hold Beijing to account for RSDL. It highlighted the risk of such practices expanding to other countries upon noticing failure to challenge the system. By June 2021, the Chinese court system showed 22,845 cases where verdicts mentioned pre-trial RSDL. This represents a bare minimum of people held, as it does not cover ongoing cases of detention or those that did not lead to trials. These estimations are merely for those that have, or will, face trial and have a verdict delivered by court. A great many, amount unknown, will not face trial after their RSDL placement, and those cases will never be identifiable in any officially available data, the group said in its letter to the UN. The number also covers cases, not persons, and some will involve more than one person. Although RSDL detention is not meant to last more than 6 months under Chinese law, it has repeatedly been extended beyond this, the report notes. There is abundant evidence that RSDL is frequently used outside its stated purpose, the investigation phase of a criminal case, since a significant proportion of RSDL victims are never formally arrested. Instead, it is thought RSDL may be being used as a tool of intimidation and to coerce testimony against others.
This post received a score of 5,600, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I would like to thank every country for doing absolutely nothing.
I've been buying tons of cheap crap off Amazon. Does that help?
As long as you scratch off the little, Made in China, PRC, sticker, then you're fine.
But less than insert other country here, greater than bad to greater than sad face. S.
Just to preempt it. Yes, we fucking know that George W. Bush and his goons ordered illegal torture and rendition. Half the country was extremely fucking upset over it. Millions of people protested the war and the torture. As a result, several people went to jail for war crimes, and the GOP lost the Senate, House and presidency. So if you want to what about that shit, call me when millions of Chinese develop the collective consciousness and courage to publicly renounce their government, and are able to use China's political framework to elect an opposition government.
Who went to jail for war crimes?
Multiple soldiers and officers running the prison in Iraq, infamously known for the sexual torture of men and female prisoners. Leadership in Washington, though, no.
The prison times for a bunch of them was a joke. 6 months, 1 year, and 2 years? Please.
LMAO. Some garbage CCP bots yesterday said, China is more of a democracy than anywhere in the West, US included, Omegalo. This is our $300 million for the Countering Chinese Influence Fund, tax dollar at work.
Greater than the Countering Chinese Influence Fund, tax dollar at work. Not working hard enough, needs more money.
They have been doing this for a long time.
And the global superpowers have all agreed to turn a blind eye because they all have vested interest in China.
Trust me, bro.
The report is from a group called Safeguard Defenders who runs only anti-China sources and says this on their About page. In other words, it's an unverifiable source run through an anonymous organization with the sole purpose of attacking China. Okay.
Isn't weird how The Guardian just published an article quoting these guys as trustworthy experts without in any way establishing why they should be considered as such? It seems like they were funded by the American Ned, who for example helped fund the failed coup in Venezuela in 2002.
I couldn't find any funding info on Safeguard Defenders' website. But their CEO was previously deported from China for running an unregistered law firm and using overseas funds.
Greater than Peter Dahlin, the EU was by far our largest donor, but my interrogators had almost no interest in this fact. Instead their focus was on Ned, whose support to us, being crucial for one of our key programs and the organization as a whole, was nonetheless limited to a few $100,000 through the 5 years the program ran. To some extent they were also interested in rapid response assistance groups like Frontline Defenders. So yeah, he admits to being funded by Ned.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.